Canada lost 3-0 to Morocco, but somehow its World Cup story got bigger. Because by July 2026, Canada was not being remembered for the loss. It was being remembered for its first men's World Cup win, a knockout breakthrough, monster TV audiences, packed host cities, Indigenous legacy projects, and a new global image. Welcome back to your ultimate pit stop, Piston Pundit. Today, we are looking at how one tournament turned Canada from a proud host into 2026's surprise success story, moving fans, money, media, and national pride far beyond the final whistle for years to come, starting now. Number 5. Morocco defeat. Why Canada's loss changed meaning. Canada's round of 16 run ended with a painful 3-0 loss to Morocco, initially feeling like a harsh stop to a dream campaign. But the result gained new context when Morocco advanced to a major quarterfinal against France in Boston, proving Canada had fallen to a serious contender, not simply collapsed. That changed how the exit was viewed. Canada had already made history with its first men's World Cup win, moved beyond the group stage, survived knockout pressure, and created unforgettable moments for fans. The defeat still hurt, but it did not erase the breakthrough. Instead, it added emotion to Canada's story and kept the country firmly in the global World Cup conversation long after its final whistle had sounded. But if Morocco gave Canada's exit a new layer of respect, the next reason shows why this story was never only about the team on the field. It was also about the millions of Canadians watching every second. Number 4. Ratings explosion. Canada's hockey nation finally looked over. Canada's World Cup run became bigger than football as millions watched across TVs, phones, bars, fan zones, and living rooms. The 6-0 win over Qatar reached about 11.7 million unique Canadian viewers, averaging nearly 5.3 million. Then the knockout victory over South Africa went even higher, reaching about 11.8 million and peaking at 8.2 million when Steven Eustachiou scored the dramatic winner. For a hockey-first country, those numbers were culture-shifting. This was not casual viewing, it was a national reaction. Families tuned in, bars erupted, fan zones roared, and young players saw Canadian stars make history at home. Beyond ratings, the tournament moved people through airports, roads, transit, hotels, restaurants, stadiums, and downtowns, creating emotional momentum that will not fade quickly. And that national reaction did not come out of nowhere. The ratings exploded because Canada finally delivered the kind of on-field breakthrough fans had waited generations to see. Number 3. Historic breakthrough. Canada finally proved it belongs. Canada's breakthrough began with its 6-0 win over Qatar at BC Place, the country's first ever men's World Cup victory, and a result big enough to change national expectations. Jonathan David led the charge with a hat trick. While Canada played like more than a proud host, it played like a true contender. Then came the round of 32 against South Africa, a tighter test filled with pressure until Steven Eustachiou's stoppage time winner sent Canada into the round of 16. Together, those matches reshaped the story. Qatar proved Canada could make history, while South Africa proved it could survive knockout pressure. Before 2026, Canada was waiting for a defining World Cup moment. After 2026, the question became, how far can this team truly go next? Before we shift from the pitch to the bigger national impact, do us a favor and hit the like button, subscribe to Piston Pundit, and turn on notifications. It helps us keep bringing you sharp updates on the stories where sports, transportation, policy, and national momentum all collide. Now, let's shift gears from the scoreboard to the cities that helped turn this tournament into something much bigger. Number 2. Host city boom. Canada became the world's showroom. Vancouver and Toronto became Canada's global showcase during the 2026 World Cup, turning host city excitement into an official legacy story. By July 2026, the government highlighted packed stadiums, fan festivals, watch parties, tourism activity, local business impact, and Canada's historic men's team breakthrough. Vancouver stood out with big BC Place crowds and hundreds of thousands at Fan Festival Vancouver, while Toronto projected its world-in-one-city identity to international visitors and viewers. Yet the legacy is not simple. Costs, ticket access, congestion, public spending, and uneven business benefits remain real concerns. Canada's challenge now is converting temporary crowds into lasting tourism, better infrastructure, stronger community sport, and smarter investment so the tournament becomes more than a summer spectacle alone. But host cities were only one side of the story. The deeper question is how the world now sees Canada after millions of visitors and viewers experience the country through a global lens. Number 1. Global identity. Canada's biggest win was bigger than soccer. Canada's biggest World Cup victory may have been its stronger global identity. Vancouver's tournament experience highlighted Indigenous inclusion, with the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations involved as planning partners and cultural voices, not just symbolic names. Fan festivals and ceremonies in Vancouver and Toronto showcased Indigenous communities, performers, and cultural representation, giving international viewers a deeper picture of Canada's history and identity. That matters for soft power because countries are remembered not only for politics or trade, but for feeling modern, diverse, welcoming, organized, and worth visiting again. The legacy is also practical. Each Vancouver partner nation is set to receive $6 million for projects, including a planned Squamish youth soccer field, extending the impact beyond the final whistle. So when you connect the team's breakthrough, the ratings surge, the host city boom, and the cultural legacy, the verdict becomes clear. Canada's World Cup story is not finished. It may only be starting its next lap. Final verdict: Canada's World Cup reset starts now. Canada's final match ended in disappointment, but the tournament did not end as a failure. It ended up as a launchpad. Canada walked away with a historic first Men's World Cup win, a knockout stage breakthrough, massive television audiences, energized host cities, government-backed recognition, Indigenous legacy projects, and a stronger place in the global sports conversation. Now comes the real test. Can Canada convert this emotional surge into better youth development, stronger facilities, smarter infrastructure, more accessible events, stronger domestic leagues, and lasting tourism value? That is what makes this story so exciting. Canada lost to Morocco, but it did not lose the moment. It found a new gear, and now the pressure is on to prove this was not just a one-time spark. So what do you think? Was Canada's World Cup run a true national turning point? Did the tournament prove Canada is now a real soccer nation? And what will be the bigger legacy? Football growth, tourism impact, or Canada's stronger global image? Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. For the latest updates on the automotive world, major industry shifts, transportation stories, and more in-depth analysis, subscribe to Piston Pundit and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching and see you next time. You can now check out any of the videos on the screen. There's plenty more to explore.